So welcome guys, welcome to AB Astrology. Again, Sandeep ji is back, just like I have promised. And it needs no introduction that his video got the most views on my channel. So that clearly says that people want to learn more from him and they are totally interested in him. And I'm also totally interested in him. So welcome Sandeep ji, welcome Dr. Santhip Kanholy ji. Welcome to my channel. And I hate to say my channel, but I don't know what else to say. But it was a blockbuster hit, which we did last weekend. And I think people are getting used to it. And it's just that you have to become a Subhash guy soon, giving blockbuster.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Amanji, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to share whatever whatever I can. That's completely fine.
No, even I have messages on my inbox, on my email. People said that we have never ever came across to any video on the social platform where these kind of techniques were discussed. So, and I replied to some of them, as I cannot reply to all of them, that that's the beauty of dealing with Pi team. When you deal with the Pi team, you are definitely dealing with the eighth house secrets, which gonna come up. And just like I have mentioned many times, you are a master of many techniques. We would just love to learn more techniques like that.
Sure, Amanji. Whatever I can share, whatever comes in that moment, that's completely fine.
Sir,
I'll share whatever I can. Yeah, sure.
So, sir, what topic we are discussing today? Because as I have mentioned in the last video, there are certain nakshatras like Ardra, Mula, Ashlesha, Jyestha. They are very Tikshna Nakshatras as well. Yes, all the nakshatras, even the Mridu Nakshatras or the Chara Nakshatras, they have the good sides, pros, and the cons. But when it comes to the Tikshna Nakshatra, they are only seen from the Tikshna side. So, but we really wanted to learn from you. I personally really wanted to learn from you the brighter side of these nakshatras. So you can pick any nakshatra you like. If you want to start with Ardra or Mula or Jyestha or Ashlesha, it's all up to you, sir.
Yeah, sure, Amanji. I think the Tikshna Nakshatras, they get a bad rep. It's just how it is. I think most of the reason for that is actually, you could say, the state of the society at that point. So like the society at that point, you could say more of education was less. Education was restricted. It was probably in the hands of certain Brahmins. Probably you could say. Eventually, that got spread out. Now everyone is coming to know about nakshatras and things like that. So then now more and more is coming out. Now at that point in time, used to be that the men in the family were leading. They were only men, things like that. Nowadays, like even women are earning money, and that's fine. That's great. Money is fine, But having said so, that point in time, usually that society, the values that is, and you can still see some of those values play out in village areas actually. You are Mula Nakshatra, you'll be bringing doom to the family, or you are Jyestha Nakshatra, someone is having some trouble, things like that. That kind of thing is very strong. But I don't think that's the best way to approach these energies. To be frank, these are just energies, and these energies have its own place.
Yes.
Now imagine like you have cancer, and you are going to like I don't know, going to like just getting the medicine, eating paracetamol or something for cancer. That's not the best. That's not a solution at all. You need a harder solution. You need like a big time radiation therapy. You need bigger medicines. You need something strong. That is what you really need. So imagine you need to lift a big block. You have a big stone that is on front of your doorway. You need to remove it. You can't call the smaller, lighter child to come in and push the rock. You need someone heavy duty, right? It's as simple as that. So the Tikshna Nakshatra energies are Tikshna. They are very intense. That's what it means. Tikshna means intense. So it's like very sharp as well. Now, so that is exactly the role of those energies in those nakshatras. That is exactly that. It is like for instance, if you look at the animals alone of the nakshatras you mentioned, let's look at Ardra is dog, Mula is dog, Ashlesha is cat, Jyestha is actually deer. But Jyestha is the male deer. So male deer is having stag, it's having its own horns. It's willing to attack you with its horns if it's needed. A dog will definitely bark and attack and guard your life with no matter what. Same thing with male and female dog. The cat is actually male cats are actually very ferocious. A male cat will even face a lion, and there are videos of a cat facing a bear. Cats are actually very brave in that way.
Oh.
So you actually find lots of videos like that. So you can see that those animals itself, especially those gender animals itself, carry that Tikshna energy very strong. So the thing is that at that point in time, and usually you find these natives with these nakshatras, they don't like lighter things. They want something more challenging. In fact, most it's very, and it's not easy for them to do the ordinary things in this world. That's just how it is. They're just bored with the ordinary things. They just get a job, do something. That's not applicable for them, because they're carrying an intense energy. They should be doing more intense things. It's as straightforward as that. They shouldn't be. They should be looking for bigger and greater challenges. That's what they should be striving for. These are the natives who can actually achieve the best of humanity in terms of actually facing a challenge, confronting it, and actually succeeding in it also. And especially if you look at the deities connected with those particular nakshatras, those 4 nakshatras, you can see Ardra is Rudra himself. He is a destroyer. He literally destroys worlds. Ashlesha is Nagas, who are protectors of great secrets and healers. You have Jyestha, which is literally Indra. Indra, who is actually the king of gods. He's not a light thing. He's a king of gods. And then you have Mula, who is Niriti herself. Who can actually go and who destroyed Daksha's yajna and all that. So those energies are very, very intense. And it's very, very important for these natives also to understand the intensity they carry. So many times I have to tell an Ardra native that you need your own alone time. You need your own alone time. You need to spend time with mountains. You need to spend time walking your dog, go on hiking alone, things like that. You need your own alone time. Doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter if you have children, you need your own alone time. That's very much strong, especially for Mula and Ardra for sure. They need their own alone time because it's so intense for them. They carry that intense energy. And that's why you see Shiva is not seen in the cities like Vishnu and stuff. Shiva is seen in the mountains. And for them, when climbing the mountain, exactly embodying that deity's energy within them, like Shiva is roaming the Himalayas, right? So they are going on hiking and things like that. They're going on solo rides many places. That kind of thing. So it's like when they do these kind of activities that are actually challenging, that's when they'll truly feel satisfaction, because that is the energy that they carry. It's just straightforward as that. In fact, it's very interesting. Even if you look in the natural world, you find even lion has its place, even tiger has its place. Even a snake has its place. A deer and cow also has its place. If you go to wild forest, you'll find a tiger. You'll find a tiger up in the tree, but you'll find very less tigers. And tiger will come and attack you and eat the deer and stuff like that. So many times these are the natives who are actually capable of handling very intense kind of projects and intense kind of situations. And these are the natives who can actually handle a lot of intense energies also in their life. Now, definitely, yes.
A lot of pressure.
Exactly. Yes, a lot of pressure. Now, imagine you have all the, and crisis happening, and then suddenly you have to be facing, you need someone who can handle that pressure right now. So your family is going through a crisis, someone is having a heart attack, you are rushing to the hospital, you need someone who's actually capable of handling that. It's not easy for a light nakshatra native to handle. They'll just fall down. That's it's something. So it's very true. It's very true with these particular nakshatra energy native. And in fact, some of the clients I have, I tell them, they tell them what is the best career for me. Choose the most challenging of them all. That's what I tell them. Then sometimes they'll tell, okay, what kind of business should I do? Then do you see myself getting successful or something like that? I tell them, you should try to conquer the world, literally. That's what I tell them. And then, okay, suddenly they are at peace, they're at peace. And sometimes, many times I've seen, especially with Jyestha natives and even with Ardra natives, they have a natural disregard for the law, the social law, the societal law. Very easily they can go into smuggling, very easily they can go into the dark side, very easily also.
Yeah.
So they need to watch out for that very, very carefully. There is especially going into the wrong parts of laws, especially with Ashlesha also. Ashlesha natives, they have a very compassionate nature. they hug everyone, with Ashlesha. Sometimes you might be hugging criminals also, literally. So you need to watch out for that.
Wow.
They need that sense of discrimination also, because Mars is debilitated there. You might have a wrong sense of friendship, and only with hard lessons in life will you understand the real meaning of friendship. People who are actually there for you when you're going through hardships,
That's a
So
beautiful
it's very, yeah, it's very important also. But the number one point is that you have to really understand the intensity of the energies that are present here, and you need to understand that that particular aspect of life, whatever planet is situated there, you will be dealing with an intense manner. Sure. When in earlier times when it was all just a joint family and stuff like that, definitely that karma is all connected. All family members connected. Karma is connected to each other anyways. So it's very natural for like, okay, sure, intensity is playing out through one of the family members' lives. That can definitely happen. But in this day and age, what I'm seeing is that it might actually happen in the career field. That's one career aspect, and that might easily be dissipated also. It's not like in that time and era when everyone was living together and things like that, but even so there will be an intense karma, and usually with natural power comes intensity. It's very natural. You want an ordinary life, guess what, you will just have like ordinary nakshatra. You need to get to the top of the world, guess what, there's an actual intensity that comes with that. You need to be prepared for that, and only when you do the corresponding sadhana, corresponding hard work to get to that point, only will you then become the best in the world also, and that's a very 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 important point also, and all yogis are actually waiting for these intense nakshatras to come out. You go to talk to a sadhu, they'll be like, okay, great, Mula is coming up, now I can finally do some intense sadhana and I can burn much more karma during this time.
Wow.
Because the sadhana has actually become more intense during that time.
Yeah.
Usually you hear an astrologer saying, oh, eclipse is happening in Ardra, world is screwed. But yogis are like, oh, thank God, I can do some intense sadhana for Shiva. Finally, I can burn up those karmas, and that's an equivalent of saying, I can put in so much of work during this time frame so that I can achieve more because of that also. So it's as simple as that.
Talk like that, Sandeepji. So I'm really glad
Yeah.
that we are able to see the brighter side or the positive side of these Tikshna Nakshatras through you. So happy.
Yeah, exactly. With Ardra, now each of those nakshatras is having its own flavor also of intensity. Now, Ardra is literally far ahead of their times. These are the natives, who are doing yoga in the 60s, before the yoga revolution came in the US and in the West in the 80s or 90s. They were far ahead of their time. These are the actual natives who will see the future literally in front of them. They'll be doing that. Because it's Shiva, right? Rudra is Shiva. He's the Lord of time itself. So literally these natives are living the future, With Ashlesha, there is an um, intensity of pressure, like especially through family situations and things like that. It's almost like a snake. A snake always tries to live in someone else's home. So it's like a snake is sleeping in an anthill or something like that, right? So you always feel like you are in someone else's home, even if when you're with family and you're having to deal with that kind of pressure.
But
But
this
guess
is,
what?
I've seen it for sure, Sandeepji. Sorry to interrupt. With Ashlesha natives, like my brother, he's Ashlesha. I don't know how many residences he has changed. So you're bang on.
Yeah. There are definitely certain karmas can also be seen with specific things also, definitely with Ashlesha there's karma with snakes. I've seen that malefics and all that with Ashlesha. At some point a snake was harmed, malefics at some point, and that snake was cursed. That can also happen. Usually it's a straightforward. I've seen Rohini, Mrgashira and Ashlesha even, like some kind of karma with snakes. So Sarpadosh, Nagadosh, that kind of thing is a usual remedy for Ashlesha, that is one thing. With Jyestha, the thing I've seen, Kamali is the eldest in the family. Now you have to understand the pressure of the literally in like 100 years ago, what the pressure fell upon the eldest in the family. Now it's very interesting because at that point in time, the elders had a lot of responsibilities. They were treated like kings also. A lot of responsibilities also came with them. Correspondingly, the elders in the family would also be protective of their youngest also, younger siblings and all that. They also had the corresponding responsibilities. They had higher responsibilities in the sense that they had to see far ahead also. They had to ensure the right path was there and all of that. So it was not easy for them also. It's not like, though an intensity is definitely coming with Jyestha, but definitely that intensity wasn't something everyone could handle, and it was something. Now, many times I've seen, now if you begin to look at charts and you look at past lives and all that, right? Many times you see that same, your ancestors literally try to get new birth within the same family lineage itself. That's a very common thing. So it's like with astrology, you see that fifth house is not only your children, fifth house is father's father also, so that can also be easily. Ninth house from ninth house is fifth house. So like your grandfather can literally come as your child, or your father is very much linked with the child and all that. So especially with the genes recessing, right?
Wow.
Gene skipper generation comes like that. So that is actually seen through that. So what happens is that many times, say, a family has done some sin in the past. Sometimes, I've seen that sometimes they might have like literally, especially Jyestha, there is some kind of inheritance drama, some kind of land drama would have happened at some point in their family history. Like, some land drama happened. And then because of that, someone suffered. And usually what happens with Jyestha is the eldest is actually bearing a lot of karma, because of that. The eldest in the family will always bear the karma of the family, one way or the other.
Yeah.
This is no matter what link they have with their siblings, no matter what responsibility they are doing, they are bearing that karma. That is just guaranteed for them, and they have that karma also. That is just the way it is, Now, with Mula, what is actually the big karma is that of with goddess Kali. You could say that a very powerful woman is connected with Mula, and now many times I've seen this with Mula. It can play out in many ways. With Mula, either you might have worshipped goddess Kali, either definitely there is a past life link with goddess Kali 100%. No matter what planet you have, that's 100%. I can say that. The other thing with Mula is that definitely it's almost like you're trying to get to the root of the problem. You're trying to get to the root of the actual spirituality that is also happening. Now that's not always a pleasant process. You'd have to get to the root of it. You're trying to get to the galaxy center. You need to break a lot of things down. You need to break the world down. You need to see the truth yourself. Many times with Mula, that intensity is naturally carrying. So almost as like they are walking volcanoes, or walking black holes. Literally, that's how you feel them. You're talking to a Mula Nitu, you'll feel like you're talking to a black hole. You'll feel like destroying everything. You'll feel that energy around them. But then the blessing of the black hole is that the black hole is able to destroy everything and bring it to its essence, to its Mula. So like big thing with Mula is always. Going to the Mula Kshetra. Every temple is having a Mula Kshetra. That's a very important thing. Going to that point is very, very important. Another thing with Mula is meditating on the Milky Way is very great remedy also. Now with Jyestha, one remedy I can say for sure is that of worshipping Ganesha. Now I'll talk about Ganesha a little bit. I'll connect all those nakshatras with Ganesha also. But with Jyestha, the other thing is that also worshipping going the old ways. Like for instance, not really like instead of chanting